Yes, the CEO of Lecudo USA, Mr. Terence Atem, you are welcome to Gaza Media.
Thank you, Mr. Kumba, for having me.
Okay. Yes, it's been exactly 3 months since the last convention, which to an extent was a successful one, was a hybrid that was new, the COVID-19 that brought a lot of issues, but at least you were still able to succeed in organizing that convention, maybe within a very short amount of time. The turnout was good. People were able to log in from all over the world, back home in Europe. And I just want to bring you to some particular issue. I know one of the things that convention like this always aim at doing is to raise funds in order to carry out project along the line. And we have been 3 months into the year after that convention. I have some concern, but I will ask you a question. I just want you to listen to this so that we can maybe take about a minute or two to discuss. Yeah, let's listen to this video.
I know you all as very hardworking men and women. This is for your ears only. I have good news and bad news. The good news is that we already have all the money needed for all these projects. To you. The bad news is that the money is all still in your pockets. So please, put your hands deeper into your pocket and give your last penny for a great fundraising to wipe the tears of the crying people of Lebang and the BLM in general. I trust you. I know that you can do it again, as you have always done.
Yeah, Mr. CEO, this was His Royal Majesty, the Founder of Fonjumeter, who was present in that convention, and he was giving this kind of encouraging people to come out. But it turned out that the fundraising that evening was not the way we were expecting. Me, as from a reporting standpoint, listening to this man speak, then looking at that fundraising that evening, the board members that we know them to be, that they are so responsible for fundraising, the past CEOs and many other elites, like the chiefs, apart from one chief that was there. What was your take when you look at that, the atmosphere that particular night, just listening to what His Majesty was saying?
Yes, Mr. Kumba, again, thank you. And that was a very, very eloquent speech from His Majesty, the Founder of Fonjumeta, very close friend to Lebang. As you have said, despite the overwhelming support and fundraising, the development dues and mobilization that we were able to accomplish with the most Lecudo members paying their $100, we really had a poor showing, honestly, when it came to the fundraiser during the gala night. And we have taken responsibility for that. We just had some events that happened at the last minute. For example, our chair of the fundraising committee, Mafua Kumbin, had done a lot of work planning for the fundraiser, sending out letters to donors, potential donors, and had an entire plan for that fundraiser, and that was supposed to be executed on that fundraiser. And unfortunately, she had an emergency and she had to travel. So that kind of just really kneecapped us and knocked us off our game. But again, that's not an excuse, because what happened is our expectation was, what I had decided to do was to hand off that night's fundraiser to the board of trustees. But right in there were struggles. I've been raising money for Lecudo for quite a while. I've been running the gala night operation, and it really, we handed it off, and it
yes,
did
yes,
not
because
go well.
Terence, yeah, because I know that prior to becoming the CEO, you were at one point provided the board chair, which the role was to actually fundraise money to look for resources rather than just depending maybe on the annual due, the $100 people donate, and people have been echoing. But I think I will have time, maybe probably, to address this to the board chair or to any board member. Okay,
right,
let's
but
move
Mr.
on.
Kumba, before you move on, you know, one of the things that was really, really surprising to us, to me in particular, you know, as you said, I've been working with Lecudo, working with so many CEOs, being in communities, organizing, being the coordinator for conventions, for more than, you know, 4 conventions, right? I was very surprised that on the first day that the board members were elected, most of them didn't show up. They just didn't bother to show up for that fundraiser. And one of, you know, several people called me and called my attention to that. And they felt that it was really, really a betrayal. Because, you know, in America, if you win an election for a particular reason, and then on that the first opportunity that you have, you don't show up, you know, you run the risk of being fired. But I guess, you know, many of them are new to the board. They're going to learn and then probably take their responsibility more seriously. But the last thing I would say to this is, we have decided, as I said, me personally as CEO, that I am going to manage the fundraising for the convention. That falls within the executive listings, just because I want to take responsibility for whatever happens at the convention.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, thank you for that. But that notwithstanding, if the board member, the board chair, if they're listening to me right now, our phone lines are open. They know how they can get to us, and they may come here and clear the air. So this is a question that we have been receiving from members because you see the front stage was actually empty. Okay, let's move on. Like I said earlier, we are 3 months into the year after the convention. Probably that's when the activity of the year starts. What action plan concretely do you have right now that you can actually tell the bank people?
Okay, right. We have put together an action plan. The action plan is basically what we present, our vision that we presented at the convention. We're very transparent about it. We got a mandate from the General Assembly. We got, you know, our projects. We stated these were our projects, and this is how we're going to do it. This is how much we need. And where we had objections, we requested for a vote, like the life insurance program, where there was an objection from the floor to our proposal, and we requested that, okay, if there's an objection based on regular order, we should conduct a vote. And a vote was conducted. Overwhelmingly, the majority supported the plan. So when at the convention, we have very key projects. The first project is a community school, the Bela Nge Community School. This to us is our flagship project, because we believe that there are many kids who cannot go out of lebang and cannot afford to go to school. So this school has allowed so many of these kids. We have an enrollment currently of about 64. That is huge. That is huge. And the other thing, Mr. Kumba, I know you talked about fundraiser. What we did as an executive is we have mobilized extra funding, additional funding. We reach out to the publishers, 4 publishers, lebang publishers in Cameroon, with support. You know, I reach out to the fund and I said the fund has to help us with this after I'd contacted them, and we joined hands with the fund, you know, lobbied them, and we were able to raise 400,000 francs, 400,000 francs from these publishers, 4 publishers. That's Cosmos, Dove, Atemek, and Anukum. Now, Cosmos get 300,000 francs, Dove get 100,000, and all 4 of them gave textbooks. They donated textbooks. So that's just to tell you that as an executive, we're taking fundraising very, very seriously. But in terms of the other projects, just if you can bear with me, you know, we have the life insurance project, Lebang Life Insurance Project, which was adopted as Lebang Social Fund. We have the in terms of education, we are supporting IDP students in Chang with financial support. We are also organizing a summer class here in where doing summer in 3 states, right? We also have, in terms of health, we are running a health fair, a health campaign, and that's scheduled tentatively for March of next year. That's going to be huge. We have a team of doctors who are already volunteering and nurses, and right now I think we're looking at between 30 to 52 nurses, doctors, to be able to do this, and we'll be able to So that's just to tell you that as an executive, we're taking fundraising very, very seriously. But in terms of the other projects, just if you can bear with me, we have the life insurance project, lebang Life Insurance Project, which was adopted as lebang Social Fund. We have the in terms of education, we are supporting IDP students in Chang with financial support. We are also organizing a summer class here in where doing summer in 3 states, right? We also have, in terms of health, we are running a health fair, a health campaign, and that's scheduled tentatively for March of next year. That's going to be huge. We have a team of doctors who are already volunteering and nurses, and right now I think we're looking at between 30 to 52 nurses, doctors, to be able to do this, and we'll be able to diagnose and then treat people.
Wait, let's